7 warning signs someone you trust might be about to betray you. Trust is a tricky thing, isn't it? You give someone your trust, expecting them to honor it. But sometimes, the signs start to show that they might not. These signs can be subtle, buried beneath layers of friendship or loyalty. And recognizing them can be tough. Here are 7 warning signs that someone you trust could be about to betray you. And believe me, being aware can save you a world of hurt. 1. Sudden changes in their behavior. One of the first things you might notice when someone is on the edge of betrayal is a sudden change in their behavior. This can manifest in a lot of ways. They might start avoiding you, or they could suddenly become overly friendly. They might stop sharing with you as much as they used to, or they could start sharing too much. It's all about the deviation from their normal behavior towards you. And it can be a clear sign that something's wrong. But remember, changes in behavior can also be caused by many other things, so don't jump to conclusions. It's just a warning sign, not definitive proof. But it's definitely something to be aware of. Stay vigilant and trust your gut. If something feels off, there's usually a reason for it. 2. They break promises more often. You know how it is, we all make promises and sometimes, life gets in the way and we can't keep them. But when someone you trust starts breaking promises more often, it might be a sign of something more. People who are about to betray someone often struggle with guilt, and this guilt can lead them to act out in different ways. One of these ways is by breaking promises. It's as if they are subconsciously trying to distance themselves from you before the actual betrayal happens. So, if your friend or colleague starts breaking promises more frequently, it could potentially be a warning sign. But everyone has off days or even off periods. It's a pattern of behavior change that you should be looking for. 3. They start keeping secrets. In any relationship, trust is built on openness and honesty. So, when someone you trust starts keeping secrets from you, it can feel like a punch in the gut. It could be as simple as them not telling you about a new friend they've made, or as significant as hiding major life decisions. When this starts to happen, it's often a sign that they're creating some distance. Of course, everyone has the right to privacy. But if you notice an increase in secretiveness from someone who used to be an open book, it's worth paying attention to. Remember, it's about changes in their normal behavior. And this one can be particularly hurtful because it strikes at the heart of trust itself. 4. They start being defensive. Ever had a conversation with someone you trust, and they suddenly become defensive over the smallest things? It's unsettling, isn't it? Defensiveness can be a sign that they're hiding something from you, or that they're uncomfortable with the current state of your relationship. It's like they're always on edge, ready to fight or flee at the slightest provocation. Truth is, we often get defensive when we feel threatened or guilty. So if someone you trust starts acting this way without there being an obvious reason, it might be a sign that they're about to betray you. Again, it's important not to jump to conclusions. Stay observant and trust your instincts. 5. They seem less interested in you. There's nothing quite like the feeling of someone showing genuine interest in you, your dreams, and your thoughts. It makes us feel valued, loved, and heard. So, when someone you trust starts showing less interest in what's going on in your life, it can be a real heartbreaker. Perhaps they no longer ask about your day, or they seem distracted when you're sharing something important with them. It's as if they've lost that spark of curiosity they once had about you. This lack of interest often means they are emotionally distancing themselves, a common precursor to betrayal. 6. They become unpredictable. Predictability is a comfort in any relationship. It's nice to know that you can rely on someone to behave in a certain way, especially when that someone is a person you trust. But when they start becoming unpredictable, it can be disconcerting. One day they're warm and friendly, the next they're cold and distant. This erratic behavior can be a sign that they're wrestling with something internally. Betrayal is not an easy decision for most people, and this internal struggle often manifests itself as unpredictability in their behavior. Stay aware, but also be compassionate. Sometimes, people are just going through tough times. 7. Your instincts are telling you something is off. At the end of the day, the most important sign that someone might be about to betray you is your own gut feeling. Our instincts are powerful. They're our body's way of warning us when something isn't right, even when we can't quite put our finger on what's wrong. If you're feeling uneasy or suspicious about someone you trust, don't ignore it. It doesn't mean you should confront them immediately or cut them off, but it does mean you should pay close attention. Trust in yourself. You know more than you might think.